Good morning, viewers. Landon Wiley here to talk about today's severe weather threat in the western part of the Dakotas, eastern Montana, northeastern Wyoming, and western Nebraska. The keys for today. The overview: severe thunderstorms are expected to develop Thursday or this afternoon along a cold front and dry line moving east through the evening. Scattered supercells are expected initially, with storms potentially evolving into one or more clusters this evening. The primary risk: large to very large hail up to 2.5 inches will be possible with any sustained supercell storms, and damaging straight line winds locally up to 80 miles an hour will be possible over the enhanced risk area, and a couple tornadoes may also occur. Timing: severe thunderstorm development by this afternoon over central and eastern Montana, with additional severe storms developing southward along the dry line. Some severe threat will continue into the overnight hours. So the area in orange is a enhanced risk for severe, and what a enhanced risk means is high confidence that several storms will contain damaging winds, severe hail, and or tornadoes. The summary for an enhanced risk is scattered to numerous severe storms expected. So, for a thunderstorm, under the definitions on the right-hand side of the screen, a severe storm is winds of at least 60 miles an hour, that's straight line wind gusts, hail 1 inch in diameter, and tornadoes. The significant severe is straight line wind gusts of 75 miles an hour, hail at least 2 inches in diameter, and tornadoes of at least an EF2 rating. So, to break it down more locally by town, as you can see, the area in orange includes a majority of the Black Hills, Hot Springs, Custer, Rapid City, Hill City, Lee, Deadwood, Sturgis, Belfouche, Spearfish, and you can see this stretches all the way into west central part of South Dakota, and then the slight risk was actually expanded this morning. So, to get into the risk, so for Hill City, Custer, Hot Springs, enhanced risk for severe weather. Tornado, gonna go slight risk for the tornadoes. The percentage is in that 2 to 4% for the Black Hills, but you get from Rapid City eastward, then it goes up to that 5 to 9%. Moderate chance for damaging straight line winds. We'll get more into that in a little bit. Significant chance of large hail. We'll get more into that here in a little bit. Talk about the timing. As you can see, for the Black Hills, earliest start time is going to be 1 o'clock this afternoon. Storms most likely in between 3 and 5 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, ending by 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time this evening. Again, that's for areas in the, we'll call it teal color. So that includes the Black Hills, including Rapid City, Custer, Hot Springs, Hill City. So, again, enhanced risk, pretty much 2 o'clock on. Primary timing is going to be 3 to 5 this afternoon. So, again, the hazards are going to be tornadoes, 75 to 80 mile an hour straight line winds, 2-inch hail or greater, and then cloud to ground lightning. So, the hail threat and wind threat could both be higher. This is just the minimum criteria we're looking at today. So, to break down the discussion about hail, as you can see, the northern part of Harding County in northwestern South Dakota is actually in that 30% hail risk with significant hail, while the rest of western South Dakota is in that 15% hail risk with significant hail. So we're definitely in that slight risk, but there's definitely the potential for a significant hail event here in the Black Hills. Now, we were talking about hail size a little bit ago. This is the hail updraft speeds, and we're talking egg, maybe tennis ball, or possibly even larger than tennis ball with some of these supercells that get going. And when I say updraft, this is the speed that the hail falls out of the sky. So the point I'm going to emphasize with this is the larger the hailstone is, the faster it falls. Now, just imagine 2.5-inch hailstones fall at 77 miles an hour. So we're talking tennis ball size hail. So it falls out of the sky at 77 miles an hour. What happens when that is driven by 80 mile an hour straight line winds? That could do a lot of damage, folks. And talk about our straight line wind threat. I mean, as you can see, pretty much all of western South Dakota is in that 30% severe wind risk with significant damaging gusts. So, prime hazards going to be large hail, very large hail, and damaging straight line winds. Now, one thing that's changed in the last probably 2 hours here this morning is the Storm Prediction Center has actually shifted the 5% tornado probability to just east of the Black Hills. And you can see this tornado threat goes up into Canada as well today. But pretty much areas west of the Missouri River in North Dakota, South Dakota need to be on alert for supercell thunderstorms and thunderstorms that can produce tornadoes, damaging straight line winds, and very large hail. All right, jumping over to radar, not much going on right now. Current conditions in Custer, 71 degrees, dew point 53. Winds are west-northwest at 5 miles an hour. Out at Rapid City Regional Airport, temperature 79 degrees, dew point of 62, relative humidity 56%, winds south at 9 miles an hour. So, earlier this morning, there was a line of showers and thunderstorms into south central and central South Dakota that have pushed off to the east. Still waiting for storms to develop. Currently in Gillette, Wyoming, it's already 85 degrees out there. So I'm guessing that's going to be an area to watch for storm development. And just kind of looking to our northwest, I see there's... Alright, so this is looking at the National Weather Service radar out of Billings, Montana. So this is where the storms have already, from Bozeman up to Lewistown, you can see that the storms are already starting to develop. However, the storms haven't hit that really warm air yet. So, it's going on 11 o'clock. These storms are already producing half-inch hail, 50 mile an hour with straight line winds. And right now, some of those storms are actually moving in a northeasterly, east by northeasterly direction. So, it's going to be a little while before stuff gets going. I see there is a few isolated storms just north of Rawlins, Wyoming, that are trying to get going right now. But there's been a lot of cloud cover over the Custer area here this morning, which has helped kept it cool, which may also help keep the severe risk threat down. We'll see what the next update from the Storm Prediction Center and National Weather Service offices say there's also some rain into south central North Dakota at this time. And more rain into eastern South Dakota. Looking at the storm total rainfall, this is out of the National Weather Service office in Aberdeen, South Dakota. You can see parts in Edmonds County there just to the west of Aberdeen, getting possibly up to several inches of rain with those thunderstorms. So the point I want to make, going back to the Rapid City radar, is there's a lot of humidity in the atmosphere today. Conditions are right. Conditions are favorable for storms to develop. There's still several hours out, but there is stuff in Montana that is already developed. So just gonna kind of keep an eye on Wyoming and see how these cells develop and progress into the western part of the Dakotas. So, looking at the Cheyenne radar, there is a couple showers out into Wyoming in between Lusk and Douglas. So, gonna keep an eye on that. So, that's the update for now. Gonna just kind of wait for storms to develop at this time. So, we'll be back later